two replay casters. Once again, we have a great engagement, a great international engagement in between the two pro players. And as you can see from the thumbnail, it's going to be a quite cheesy gameplay here, as Haas especially is of course known for his cheesy gameplay. So let me just start once again by introducing the players to you guys, as we have spawning here in the upper left. In the blue it is SERRAL from Finland, and in the lower right, in the red, it is Haas. I believe he's from Asia, I think the Philippines or Malaysia, but I'm not so sure, or Taiwan. I'm sure he's from Asia. Anyways, I'm going to research it again on Google. Okay, let's just have a look what exactly they prepared for us. Like I told you, it's a retro replay cast from around the year 2017-2018, as they're spawning here on Catalyst LE. So Haas, interesting enough, this time actually opening up pretty standard. And as I look at the minimap, look at this SERRAL actually being the one freezing in the first game. So a proxy hatch here for SERRAL, quite interesting stuff, as the probe is coming here forward. Doesn't see the first expansion yet, and checks of course for a spawning pool, checks of course for that extractor, sees them now but doesn't really see this expansion here. So quite important information this probe is delivering here for us. So let's have a look what exactly Haas is going to be reacting here. He's actually playing pretty normal, actually opening up here with his fast expansion. There is his gateway. Cybernetics core will very likely follow here for Haas, as he's still roaming around into this location. So right now he knows that something fishy is happening here, and SERRAL actually being the one proxy hatchery here for him. So there is that hatchery for SERRAL. Let's have a look what the next buildings are going to be. The spawning pool is about to get finished. It's going to be mass zerglings here for SERRAL, as we're about to find out. Or perhaps is he going into a roach warrant? We're about to find out. Gas is being mined, and yeah, there is that one drone, and he's actually going for a roach warrant. So it looks like a roach ravager perhaps push. The first queen is also getting spawned. Remember, this is a retrocrest, so the queens can heal if they're not on blight. And where is that probe here? There it is. So Haas actually also deciding to place a nice hidden pylon here. What exactly is he going for? A Stargate for himself. So Stargate, you could be some void rays, could be some oracles here for us. Let's have a look into his main. Just a double gas, just a nexus there, and he's going for warp. And one stalker of course has to be spawned here just to wall off the entrance, but there's still a gap here. So let's have a look. Some shield batteries are of course being hatched. Finally he has seized the light. Now he sees the proxy hatch, and the first roaches are already being placed here for SERRAL. So quite an interesting strategy here by SERRAL. Very aggressive move out by him. Roaches will of course attack really fast, as they will not have to walk all the way here on the map. So they are the first roaches. He's actually going into ravagers. So let's have a look. Is he actually spawning some roaches from here? No, just straight going mass roaches from this one proxy hatch, and another queen has also been spawned. So this is the tactics here from SERRAL. Haas, I believe, is going for, let me just check quick, a oracle. So oracles it is going to be here. Just one pylon here, one artosis pylon, as some of you may know this. So yeah, let's have a look. The proxy pylon here is about to get some serious damage. Of course, SERRAL has to target this one, as all those gateways, and the cybernetics core will be unpowered. So Haas early on in some serious trouble. He's actually preparing some defenses here in the upper part of his ramp, some mass shields for him, and even some gateways, but there's just so much here for SERRAL. At the same time, the oracle is moving out here for us, as he's about to attack those drones. Of course, no defenses here, no spores yet, interesting enough for SERRAL, as the first drones will also fall here. So 6 drones already have been sniped. SERRAL looking like he's perhaps going to micro those drones towards the queens. There are the queens, they could give some protection, as SERRAL is still pushing here forward with so many shield batteries. So the workers are also being transferred here, but they're nicely getting blocked by those queens, and one queen is actually being blocked here, attacked by those probes. But we do have that shield battery at the same time. The queens are nicely healing themselves up really great, but in the end 2 queens will fall here. So very important pickups here for Haas, as he's killing 2 queens, but 2 other queens have also been spawned here. So lots and lots of violence here to defend this attack. Nice kiting back and forth. At the same time, the drones have indeed been brought here back, but Haas in his location with his 2 oracles now And production-wise, we can actually see only one Oracle is still being produced. So what a crazy first game. Nice first game to start this series off. But in the end, it looks like SERRAL really has way too much here. Is it going to be enough for us? His workers are of course falling. So yeah, just one roach is being left here to attack this Nexus. At the same time, the Oracles are moving here forward towards the main from SERRAL. No mining going on here, no drones here, just a couple of drones are being microed here by SERRAL. So crazy first game we have here indeed, as SERRAL is now going to try very likely to defend those drones. Still one Stalker is nicely kiting back and forth, but we actually have 4 Oracles now here for us. So is it going to be enough against all of those Queens? We're about to find out, as the Oracles are indeed moving here forward against the Queens. One Queen is nicely healing the other Queen, but in the end I believe Haas is very likely going to have enough if he's going to snap those Queens. Yes indeed, so Haas with 4 Oracles here looking really strong. A nice hidden proxy Stargate by him. Worker-wise, 1 worker for Haas, only 1 has been left, and 6 for SERRAL. But in the end, Haas is going to take the first game. So what a crazy first game we have here to start the series. Yeah, let's just jump straight into game number 2. And we're back with game number 2. Quite a great start to have into this series. Nice proxy hatchery here for SERRAL into the first game. Really aggressive gameplay, but in the end, those Oracles from Haas, a great counter. Mass Oracles, 4 Oracles was enough here for Haas to win him game number 1. So we're heading straight into game number 2. As in the lower left, in the red it is Haas, and his opponent here in the upper right in the blue it is SERRAL, as the spawn gear on Lost and Found LE. Let's have a look if we're actually going to be having once again a cheesy replay or a normal replay, as Haas once again, just like in game number 1, opening up here pretty standardly. Let's have a look at SERRAL. Is it going to be once again a proxy hatch, or what exactly is he going to be doing? Once again hiding his first expansion, as Haas is of course moving out now with his rope. And is he actually going to add a proxy pylon? We're about to find out. So interesting enough, SERRAL not going for his main expansion point, going into another location, perhaps just to fool a little bit Haas. Of course, once again a mind game for SERRAL versus his opponent. His main once again going for that extractor for the spawning pool. Haas sees this, and in game number 1 I believe Haas didn't move out into this location. He just checked the main, so Haas looking of course now really suspicious once again, just wanting to know what exactly SERRAL is going for. Going to very likely leave this probe into this location, checking once again the main, as at the same time SERRAL is moving out here with his overlords. And yeah, the pretty same build order for us, just like in the game number 1. Let's have a look. The probe of course stays into this location, really wants to know if SERRAL once again goes for that proxy build order. At the same time, no probe is getting moved out here by Haas into the nearby proximity just to check the stuff there. But yeah, in the end now SERRAL moves out with his second drone, so perhaps this is a little bit of a other information here for Haas. So Haas of course once again checks the main, still hasn't checked this expansion, but he did saw this one move out with the drone from SERRAL. At the same time, more drones are getting transferred. So I believe now Haas finally knows that it is indeed a expansion, but into a different location. So I guess he's just ready to move here back at home. So it looks like we're having a perfectly normal game, just with a small difference, as SERRAL once again is not deciding to take here his first expansion point. Perhaps he was fearing that an early probe would have reached it, but now he's actually going for his second expansion. So the pretty standard stuff we have right now by both players. Let's just check Haas main. He also has that cybernetics core gateway into his main, and perhaps another gateway will follow up here for him. Let's check his main if he's going once again for a starport, but no, he's actually going for a Twilight Council and a robotics facility bay. This could be a push with some adepts, it could be a push with some blinking stalkers. A warp prism could also be used with some Archons. It's very interesting to see what exactly the plans from Haas are going to be here in game number 2, as the pneumatized carapace is also getting finished here for the Zerg player. So yeah, let's see what the plans from SERRAL are. No Roach Warrant this time, just going really heavily into Zerglings, or will it be perhaps some Banix? Let's have a look what the next steps are going to be. A nice overload with speed, so I believe that upgrade was speed for those overloads. And yeah, he sees the main, he sees the Twilight Council, he sees the Broadcast Facility Bay. Still has to guess, of course, what exactly the upgrade is. Is it Blink? Is it the upgrade for the Adepts? But it looks like Haas going for upgrade for those Zealots. So it's going to be Speed Zealots, massive amounts of Speed Zealots, perhaps with some teleportation from the War Prism. There's the War Prism. But this could be a really, really deadly early attack. Zealots, of course, kind of cheap. Let's see if this is going to work out for Haas, as Serral is just pretty much droning up, adding more and more of those drones, adding a Roach Horn, so he knows that something is coming towards his way, so he has to add that Roach Horn. Those Roaches early on, really, really tanky against any aggression. And yeah, let's have a look. The Stalker is nicely blocking the entrance. Another gateway has been added, and the Probe looking like he's wanting to add another expansion, as this one first observer is going to be really, really important here for us to see the first Roaches, even a tier 2 upgrade for Serral. So yeah, the observer, of course, trying to find a good position here, trying to see exactly the unit, but he's really lucky. He sees now the Roaches as the first Zealots are being added here by Haas. Yeah, it's just so many Roaches, and the Queens are also in position to defend this location. I believe the creep spread is also looking really, really strong, as Haas tries, of course, to attack on different fronts, tries to teleport as many units as possible. Let's have a look what exactly is going for charge, and perhaps another War Prism. It could be a double War Prism harassment. But yeah, so many Roaches here for Serral, as the creep highway is getting continued here for Serral with those creep eggs on the ground, and really, really lots of creeps being added. I believe he just wants to create a creep highway towards his next expansion point. Yeah, there we have the War Prism once again. Haas could try to go for this location. Just one Queen defending here. And he's just roaming around with his Prism. But there's so many overalls nicely getting spreaded here for Serral. So he really has a great way to vision what exactly is going on. At the same time, just sending a couple of Roaches out. He has a nice vision with this one Overlord. And yeah, so many Roaches at the base from Serral. Some are just moving out. Here perhaps he's going into Ravagers. At the same time, some units have been added here. Immortals with sentries. And still Haas just roaming around with his Prism, with his Zealots. Not really getting anything done. But still just stays here next to the proximity from Serral, just to force him to stay back a little bit with his Roaches. So yeah, quite interesting strategies we have here, especially from Haas, of course. And yeah, sadly for him, it didn't really work out. Going to snap a couple of creep eggs and then just move back, but at the same time he could, of course, regroup with his main force, with those Immortals, really important. And those sentries, the sentries cast some nice shields, some nice force fields. They will be really, really strong for those Immortals to attack the Roaches. Of course, Immortal, the perfect counter towards those Roaches, but we do have now some Zerglings, we do have some Banelings, so Serral adding more and more of those units. Slowly but steadily we're closing towards the 10-minute mark, so quite a interesting game here we have. Let's see if Haas is going to teleport more and more of those units towards the base from Serral. Still Serral at the 3 base, not going for any huge other expansions, but having quite a large amount of an army. 80 army of supply versus 58. Let's see, lots and lots of Zealots indeed. It is just 2 Immortals, 1 Casual Stalker and some Sentries. And more Zealots are actually getting warped in, so massive amounts of Zealots here for Haas. Let's just see if this is going to work out. Many more Banelings are getting morphed in, so Haas needs to hurry up. He's actually adding a guarding shield. And what exactly is he going to be doing? Still just roaming around. At the same time, nice counter here for Serral with a couple of Zerglings, so 3, even 4 Oops, have been killed here. So nice stuff here by Serral. Just with a small amount of Zerglings, speed Zerglings, is able to snap some units. So Haas really has to make up his mind. The more he roaming around, the more stronger Serral will of course get, especially with those Banelings, with those Roaches. So he's of course searching for the 3rd expansion, but there is no such thing. He might have a good engagement here. Great force fields, nice guarding shield, great fireballs by Serral against this army. Once again, force fields, but I believe Stalkers would have been perhaps a better idea, as the Zerglings and the Banelings are actually rolling forward here, really dealing massive amounts of splash damage, and now the Roaches are just moving forward. So Haas, sadly for him, I believe he just wasted a little bit too much time. More and more reinforcements are going forward, but it's just so many Roaches here for nice here by him, even getting us around here against this one immortal. So yeah, game number 2, this time going for SERRAL. Sadly for him, his tactics didn't really work out with those mass zealots. And yeah, perhaps some disruptors would have also been a nice idea. So yeah, 1-1 it is. Let's just jump straight into game number 3. Those zealots with that war prism, but sadly for him it didn't really work out. So the score is 1-1. Please ignore this 0-0 score here. So yeah, interesting stuff, but in the end I believe blinking stalkers like Hero has shown us in previous replays on this channel, and even a depth push with those glaives are a better idea against those zealots. So yeah, let's have a look. We're spawning on Redshift LE in the upper left. In the red it is Haas, and his opponent in the lower left. In the blue it is SERRAL. So 1-1 it is. Let's have a look once again. A fast move out here by Haas with his probe straight towards this location, straight to block this hatchery point for SERRAL. SERRAL not moving out yet with a drone. Hold on, he's moving out, and he's actually going for a gold. So this is indeed a rich mineral field onto this base. Let's have a look if indeed Haas is going to check this out. Now he sees it. I believe he also should be having a gold field into this location. So yeah, interesting looking map with gold available for both players. And yeah, Haas sees now the expansion, so he has all the information he needs. At the same time, he decides to block the entrance, this ramp here, was just to give more tankiness towards this location. I believe there is no ramp here, just this ramp here, so some ranged units, some Ravagers could of course kill the workers here, but in the end Haas decides to block the main entrance. It's actually a forge here being done. Quite interesting stuff. Might go for some cannons. Let's have a look what exactly his plans are. Indeed, he is going for some cannons. Actually looking like a cannon rush into this location, so really smart gameplay here for him. SERRAL sees everything with that overlord. So yeah, we have a mini cannon rush against the expansion point, against the gold expansion point. Same time, the entrance, of course, no units are being spawned by Haas. This is investing, of course, really heavily into those cannons, and even forcing a cancel here for SERRAL. So quite nice stuff. Trading just a couple of minerals, and SERRAL deciding to now has to play normally into this location. So quite an interesting move by us. He might cancel this cannon, but no, he leaves it on just in case SERRAL changes his mind. So great stuff here by Haas, as at the same time he's also taking here his gold expansion. So perhaps a good start for Haas, perhaps a little bit of a advantage for him, as he will be having more and more income against SERRAL. So SERRAL really has to react to that. And he's now adding a roach warren, so it's very likely going to be once again Ravagers here for SERRAL versus his opponent. Yeah, we're about to find out. I believe the probe is of course scouting this location, staying here, and yeah, she just needs to transfer. I believe if I was him, I would actually transfer all of those probes into this gold base just to give me more and more of an advantage. But then again, I'm not a pro gamer, and I haven't even played a Starcraft 2 game yet, so yeah, I'm sure Haas knows exactly what he is doing here. And yeah, let's have a look into his main. A Stargate is being added, some adepts are being added. Could be oracles here for Haas, could be some void rays, as he's going indeed for a oracle. So could have been a void ray just to snipe this one oracle as the first probes. 6 of them already getting transferred here towards the gold base. SERRAL now going for his second expansion point. And let's have a look when exactly the first roaches, actually some Zerglings, are being spawned. You can of course see the production tab here in the upper left part, and I have even learned that if you click on Control N, yes, you can see actually the number of supply here. So really nice stuff. Learning more and more of Starcraft 2, and it is going to be a void ray, as I sadly missed 2 drone kills by Haas. Oh yeah, let's have a look at the next steps. Some Zerglings are out. Overall is also getting nice vision here, but in the end he will be sniped, or he should be sniped by this one void ray. And at the same time the oracle also snipes some Zerglings here. Even a shield battery is being added, so Haas looking like he's having the advantage here. He's getting more and more income. He's going for a robotics facility bay towards his enemy and the Twilight Council. So what exactly are his plans? We're about to find out. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen here. Some queens have been added, still at the 3 base, adding some spores against those oracles. And yeah, let's have a look where exactly that void ray is just staying at home. Just I believe Haas is fearing, of course, an attack, a full-on attack here by SERRAL with his Zerglings, with his roaches. And yeah, Have a look what is going to be happening here, what exactly the plans are from SERRAL. Currently it's just droning up, just adding more and more of those queens, drones, spores, and we might see an attack once again by Haas, and Haas still plays the same card, still goes for that zealot movement speed as he's adding more and more of those gateways. Let's just see if he's going to be more successful here into game number 3. He might once again add that war prism. And what exactly is he going for? Massive gateway, so it should be once again massive amounts of zealots, not intending to go into adepts, not intending to go into those stalkers with blink, even going weapons 1 here. So let's have a look if he's going to be successful this time. He could of course do a really strong warp in here into the main, but there are so many queens out to defend here for SERRAL. Yeah, many more roaches are of course getting added here by SERRAL, as it is indeed going to be just like in game number 1, a roach ravager mix, perhaps with later on some zerglings with some banelings. But yeah, the first units are out just to hunt down those oracles, sorry, those overlords in the air. Yeah, we're about to find out if this time it's going to work out for Haas, as he's added those zealots. Speed legs is about to get finished here as he's moving out with his war prism. The Void Ray and the Oracle have given good information, good scouting information. There's that war prism. We're about to find out where exactly he's going to attack, I believe into this location, but SERRAL has those queens spread out all over the world. He also has those spores, so in comes the attack. He needs to be careful. This war prism pretty much exposed. SERRAL not paying attention, interesting enough, and he could teleport actually many more units here with this war prism, but at the same time he's also attacking with another group of zealots. I believe he had the second war prism here, or he just walked them. So nice multitask here by Haas as he's attacking into multiple location. Here is an attack and here is also an attack happening, so those zealots being really strong. If he wants to snap this one hatchery, but the queens are here. If SERRAL could even heal it, at the same time the Void Ray also dealing some damage. Interesting enough, no units have been lost here for SERRAL, no perhaps just a couple of queens, but no drones have been lost, so that's really important for him. And yeah, the queens once again proving to be really strong into defending. There's even some roaches, and he's also creating a wall of, or decides to cancel it. So let's have a look. Haas once again on the move here forward with his zealots, with his war prism. Might try to snap this location once again. And things have settled down a little bit. SERRAL will of course nicely defend here, but yeah, Haas just now retreating. Perhaps he's looking for a different position to attack. Still on a 2 base strategy here as he's going into Immortals. So yeah, Immortals of course a good counter against those roaches, but is it going to be enough as he's actually teleporting those zealots into this location? This was the launching pad for the zealots into that location, as SERRAL is looking like he's going for his gold base now. So Haas really has to hurry up now. He has to add another expansion into this location, as if SERRAL will take this, of course the economic advantage will belong to him. So let's have a look. The first immortal are getting spawned here, or getting teleported with this one war prism. So the army from Haas is getting really stronger and stronger. It's 3 immortals with some sentries, with massive amounts of zealots for him once again, upgrade wise 1 to 0. Even the second upgrade is going on. So yeah, Haas looking like once again he's going to attack towards the base from SERRAL. He might even try to teleport those units into this location as the war prism is now moving forward. Let's have a look. Is he going once again for a multitask, as SERRAL just pretty much regrouping into the middle of the map. Let's have a look. The first attack is happening here. Lots and lots of zealots are getting teleported. Spine is being attacked. At the same time, in the middle of the map, some action will happen. But yeah, there's roaches here to defend. Nice micro here for Haas, as he might try to add more and more units. In the meantime, his other forces are going for a different location, so those zealots, sadly for him, not really making any difference. And at the same time, he's actually moving forward with his main forces here, with his main zealots looking really nice into red, searching actually for another expansion point, but no such thing, as SERRAL is now having his main force here to defend. His nice guarding shield. We might see some sentry shield wards here. Another guarding shield. Great force fields to split the troops a little bit for SERRAL, but so much range for SERRAL available. Some ravagers, some queens, everything getting thrown here towards Haas. So Haas, of course, standing his ground, but sadly for him, his war prism has been killed, and those immortals not so fast as the roaches on the creep. Some reinforcements are moving forward. At the same time, we do have some attacks here, but SERRAL seems to be having way too much here against his opponent, and he's able to push this actually back. So sadly for Haas, once again, his strategy not really working out. I believe he's going to sadly lose this game. Still doesn't have his sword expansion, so yes, indeed, SERRAL once again defeating Haas here. So Haas might change his tactics from mass zealots into mass adepts and mass stalkers maybe, or mass void race could be an interesting idea for him. Let's just see what's going to happen into the next game. So yeah, how Haas is going to change his tactics here. Sadly for him, his mass zealots didn't really work out for him. Some immortals, of course, would have been really great, many more immortals, but in the end, SERRAL just having way too much. So mass zealots sadly not working out here for Haas. Spawning here on acid plant, game number 4 it is. Upper left part in the blue, it is SERRAL from Finland and from Asia. I don't really know his exact country. I believe it was Taiwan, but I'm not sure of it. It is Haas in the red as the Protoss. So acid plant, it is a smaller map. We're about to find out what the difference is going to be here. I believe Haas is not going to go for those zealots. Should be a lesson for him. Sadly didn't work out. It's really hard to execute. It could be really good, but I believe adapts, like I told you, adapts or mass stalkers would have been a better idea. Even some Archons into this one war prism, even some disruptors would have been really great. And air, mass air could be an option for him. Some void race with some shield battery push, just like Parting has shown us. Shield battery pushing forward with void race could be an interesting idea here for the Asian player. So let's have a look at his main. Pretty standard stuff. Same build order for him, and actually standard stuff for SERRAL as the probe is checking out the proximity here for the Zerg. The main will continue with the extractor and the spawning pool, so nothing out of the ordinary yet. The overlord is also nicely making his step forward towards the expansion point from Haas. And Haas once again adding a forge, interesting enough. Hold on, he's actually cannon rushing, so yeah, if nothing works out for you, of course, a cannon rush will be the next step for Haas, so why not? Protoss really have this technology to add those pylons and to add those cannons into this location. So the expansion is about to get finished here for SERRAL, as the first cannon is also being added. So double pylon, giving protection towards this one cannon, as even now the drones are being trapped here against those cannons. At the same time, SERRAL actually deciding to finish this one hatchery. He could have cancelled it. Actually, he's added another hatchery here, so interesting stuff. He actually decides to let it finish just to force Haas into going into more and more of those cannons. One cannon has been killed by the drones, but in the end, one will finish here. So this expansion is about to get finished here. I believe SERRAL would slowly but steadily transfer those units here, but then again, who am I to tell the world champion what exactly to do into this location? And a robotics facility has been added here, so Haas going for an interesting build order. Main not going for fast expansion, of course, adding one stalker just in case some Zerglings are moving forward. And yeah, the action rotoscope is of course continuing here as a pylon, and that robotics facility is being added. So 3 cannons are done, but of course SERRAL is fine as his expansion is about to get finished here. Ropes and drones are still mining into the main. There is one queen who could attack from this ledge here. But yeah, let's have a look. Lots and lots of minerals are being invested here for us. What exactly are his plans here with his robotics facility bay and the shield battery? Could be some immortals, could be some disruptors. The wall of here is nicely being completed, even a shield battery is being added. So yes, SERRAL not really making it forward, and indeed one immortal is being added. So it's going to be an immortal push very close to the base, even supported by one stalker. So yeah, Broodwar is halfway being done as Haas is moving forward with his stalker, but as you can see, the other hatchery is about to get mined here for SERRAL. So yes, SERRAL also adding those Zerglings. Luckily for him, sniping 2 probes, really great stuff. And let's have a look what is exactly this immortal is going to be doing with those shield batteries as a support, with that stalker as a support. We do have a surround attack here for SERRAL, but it could be really deadly. The immortal is tanking, of course, much of that attack, much of that damage. But yeah, nice snipe here for SERRAL, taking out a very important unit, that immortal. And yeah, sadly not so many shield batteries have been finished here for Haas, so yeah, lots and lots of Zerglings. Looks like a good idea, but now another immortal is being added for Haas, and even a photon cannon. So it looks like a push with photon cannons, with shield batteries, and with immortals here towards the main from SERRAL. But once again, a great surround here by SERRAL, taking out another Stalker. Still no expansion here. The main looks pretty normal, as of course the main action is happening here, but just one Immortal. And now we even have Ravager, so some Ravager balls can be added. And once again, a nice surround, so the Immortal taking quite some damage. The shield battery, however, is nicely healing up this one Immortal. It's many shield batteries here. 4 of them, I believe, even 5. But yeah, now more and more units are being added. Some Ravagers are coming from below, even adding the fireballs here against the shield batteries. And one Immortal just kiting his way here, but some Zerglings, many more Rogers. And here the Immortal, sadly for him, is just alone. Still now nicely getting microed here. Our one warp is almost getting taken out. So nice strategy here for Haas, but still adding more and more of those units. More and more Zerglings, more and more of those Ravagers. This is going for a surround attempt here, even sniping some shield batteries. And yeah, once again, the lone Immortal is getting nicely microed out, but so many virus, so many fireballs in the air. And one shield battery after the other is getting sniped. Only one Immortal here for Haas. Many more Ravagers for SERRAL, really dealing massive amounts of damage against Haas. Sadly for him, it doesn't look like it's working out once again. A nice strategy by him and a great force. Cancel this expansion point, but in the end, 2 Immortals are being left. However, they're really strong against those Ravagers. And they might even snap a Ravager or 2. Great micro here by Haas with his War Prism, as he's now just rebuilding the shield batteries. And even sniping one Ravager here. So nice job by him. But yeah, he has to rebuild the robotics facility bay. And in the meantime, SERRAL not really mining strongly from here. So he's adding more and more of those Ravagers and Roaches. So worker-wise, we actually have 23 for SERRAL, and army-wise also much more supply here for SERRAL. But those Immortals are really strong, especially against those Roaches, especially thanks to their tankiness and really strong damage. Taking out that extractor, taking out some drones, and they're just moving more and more forward. SERRAL really has to calculate his moves now, as those Immortals was looking really strong, especially backed up by those batteries now in the back. It's 2 Immortals. More and more probes are getting sniped here. Really nice job by Haas, and slowly but steadily now SERRAL has dropped to 90 workers versus Haas 17. At the same time, some Zerglings are moving here out, but there is a sentry in the back healing, actually dealing damage towards that. So yeah, really interesting job. Just Haas just showing us how strong some Immortals are, but in the end SERRAL throws everything he has. He has some Zerglings in the front, there are cannons however in the back, and even some probes are getting now, sorry, some drones are getting transferred. As he's nicely kiting those Immortals back and forward, actually forward towards those drones. So SERRAL pretty much abandoning here his main as he's going straight towards this location. Of course, there are no shield batteries in the near proximity, but there are some micro here, so nice job. At the same time, a huge amount of Zerglings are pushing here forward. I believe SERRAL really wants to punch now forward into the main from Haas. And yeah, let's have a look if this is going to work out. Nice micro here by Haas. Still with 2 Immortals, another Immortal is getting spawned. But yeah, SERRAL decides to just transfer everything he has into this location. And at the same time, he's attacking here the pylon from Haas. And he might soon unpower everything. He might soon create an attack here as soon as the battery will fall. So let's have a look what exactly is going to happen. The battery is being attacked. The pylon will also be attacked really soon, as slowly but steadily SERRAL is making his way here forward. So lots and lots of investment here for Haas into this location, but in the end he has to kill one of his own shield batteries to create way for those Immortals. And yeah, SERRAL punching forward. So look, does he have enough defenses? Some Ravagers are here, but he has 3 Immortals, so they're really strong. Even one probe he is here to back this up. But for how long is Haas going to have those guys, as in the end some buildings are moving here forward, but SERRAL also has to bring some units back to defend at home, as those Immortals are still looking really strong. Of course, it's going to take much more time here for Haas to micro those Immortals towards the shield battery. So very smart move here by SERRAL, transferring all of those drones from that location towards here. So really nice stuff. At the same time, SERRAL just leaves some of his units here just to snipe the drones. So sadly here for Haas, he has dropped now to 0 workers really soon. So some sort of a miracle will have to win him this game here. Immortals of course looking really strong, but SERRAL is still mining from his other expansion point, even adding a spawning pool here. So Things are getting harder and harder for Haas here. He's currently not having any income. SERRAL only at 13 workers. So yeah, like I told you, only a miracle will somehow help him here. Even queens are attacking the war prism. So what exactly can Haas do here now? Zerglings are being left to take care of the nexus. This is moving forward now with his immortals, 4 immortals, but still shield batteries, which have been much needed here to support the units, and a second war prism actually. So the micro is really excellent by Haas. He somehow has a chance. So much is getting attacked. Of course, Haas does a great job, but one war prism has been snapped. Second one also dropping a little bit low. It's more nice micro here. Really great micro by Haas, but in the end the Zerglings are really soaking up the damage, and in the end SERRAL will of course take this game. 0 workers available for Haas, 18 for SERRAL. A nice cheesy gameplay of course by Haas, as he cannon rushed here his opponent, but in the end, and we're back with game number 5. Quite a nice intention here from Haas in game number 4 with that cannon rush. Sadly for him it didn't work out, because SERRAL was really smart. He just transferred all of those drones into his second expansion point, so just avoiding that push with those shield batteries, with those cannons and the immortals. A very nice attempt here for Haas. Sadly for him it didn't work out. Now the spawn here on Darkness Sanctuary LE, as you can see, a quite big map, as Haas is already moving out here with his units, really wanting to know where exactly SERRAL is hiding. So yeah, let me just introduce the players once again. In the lower left in the red, it is Haas from Taiwan, I believe, and his opponent in the upper left in the blue, SERRAL from Finland, the world champion. But of course these games have been played around 2018, 2017, so a retro cheesy replay cast for here. If it is a best of 5, could be a best of 7. Let's have a look. Haas is moving forward. He sees the overload, he sees now the expansion point, so he knows where the position from SERRAL is. So checking of course the main, checking for that timing for the extractor for the spawning pool. Then let's have a look. Is he going to use this probe to build a proxy barracks, a proxy pylon into the middle of the map, perhaps with a stargate, perhaps some gateways? Let's have a look what exactly his plans are. His main in the meantime looking really normal, but at the same time he's adding a forge. It looks like he's wanting to go for another cannon rush, or what exactly are his plans here? Yes indeed, once again a cannon rush attempt here for us. Let's see if this time is going to be successful. Adding 2 pylons, giving protection towards that one cannon in the middle. SERRAL brings here 3 drones forward, but the probe is of course nicely protected by the pylons, and this could also be offensively used, as the range from the cannon could reach this position right here. So let's have a look if this is going to work out. Already forcing a cancellation for SERRAL, but then again SERRAL has his other expansion into this location, so not that much is being invested here for us. But he could of course once again continue with that robotics facility bay, could add a stargate with some oracles. Let's have a look what his plans are. Once again not going for that expansion, adding a cybernetics core, having almost double gas finished at home, as he's just roaming out. At the same time he's adding a pylon here, so SERRAL has to add a spine crawler. So nice move here forward by Haas. One cannon is finished, the second one is also being added, and SERRAL even reacting with 2 spine crawlers. So quite interesting stuff here. We have once again a cheesy gameplay here for Haas versus his opponent, and a robotics facility bay with a shield battery. So once again the same strategy, however this time with a better position. The shield battery might even get so much range to heal those immortals into this location, so quite a much better position here for Haas this time. So let's have a look if SERRAL is once again going to react with a transfer with those drones, but currently he's just having this one pylon attacked. Same time there is no ramp here, so he has to push here out, as the one important pylon here for Haas is about to get snapped by SERRAL. So SERRAL does a quite good job here defending. Shield battery has been finished. The probe once again makes his way out. The roach is also being spawned, so SERRAL looking really good. He could be even lucky to snap this one probe. The shield battery is nicely defending it, however in the end, yeah, SERRAL is able to snap this one as well, as the spine crawler will get no vision against Haas. So Haas in a little bit of trouble now. Let's have a look how these things will unfold. 3 shield batteries already out, 1 stalker dealing already damage towards those roaches here, and towards the Ravager as well, and snapping this one Ravager cannon is about to get finished, as the other cannon is nicely getting healed by these shield batteries. But let's have a look how much energy is being left. Actually, no energy being left at all for so Haas once again in a little bit of trouble, as the Ravagers will of course take care of the next buildings here. So slowly but steadily Haas is losing more and more of those buildings. However, he has added now this immortal. He even has 2 stalkers. This could be a really strong push by him. Shield batteries as well being added. He has no vision on the high ground. Nice fireballs being added by SERRAL, as he's going to be able to snipe shield battery after shield battery, and at the same time now fighting with his spinecrawler against the immortals. Some roaches also coming up from above to give support, but yeah, the immortal really tanky. SERRAL actually 2 kills already for this one stalker, and a war prism is being added. Let's have a look how many workers he has here into this expansion points. 3. Some Zerglings are being added, so SERRAL once again going for that surround. At the same time he's losing a spinecrawler. Really nice micro by Hans. Let's have a look if this is going to work out somehow for him. So many Zerglings have been added, and they're attacking straight at this point, straight towards those pylons, just to empower the units from Haas. So Haas taking quite some damage. He has to rebuild those pylons really quick, as everything is getting unpowered here. So SERRAL with a nice move out, and damaging so much of the structures here for Haas with a very hard game. Very nice cheesy gameplay here for him, but in the end everything's unpowered. So let's have a look what is going to happen here. More and more Zerglings are being added. One Ravager is still alive. This one Queen also adding so much pressure, but this one is still alive. So Haas holding their own really strong, adding more and more of those cannons, more and more shield batteries and pylons. At the same time the immortal is also nicely getting micro here with this war prism. It's SERRAL looking once again. He's having really hard, and shield batteries very low on mana, so SERRAL really punching here forward, and now he might get a good surround, but the war prism is nearby to out micro him. So still lots and lots of damage being taken. The fireballs also adding so much damage towards the structures here for Haas. So Haas in some serious trouble against SERRAL, as more and more damage is being taken, but the immortals are nicely fighting here, pushing actually SERRAL back. So Haas once again shows us how strong immortals are versus the roaches. And yeah, slowly but steadily he's rebuilding those shield batteries. This is also nicely microing those units. He might be able to snipe one roach really fast with those immortals. There's so much damaging power for those units. Really strong unit to have against the roaches as a Protoss, but needs to be careful with this one. War prism is taking so much damage out of those vials, out of those fireballs of the Ravagers. And yeah, more and more shield batteries are being added, but the probe has been snapped here by SERRAL. So Haas once again in trouble. He needs another probe here. Zerglings are also roaming forward. But yeah, so much more is getting lost here for Haas, as he's just microing those immortals once again in and out of danger. So really nice micro by him. And still sniping more and more of those units for SERRAL, but in the end SERRAL stays strong with 2 Ravagers. Actually 1 Ravager is being left and 1 Queen. And sadly here for Haas, he has lost this one War Prism, so I believe or did he know, actually the War Prism is still alive, but Haas has to retreat back home, and is now going into more defensive, into a more normal gameplay position, as SERRAL is able to clear this out. A nice job here by SERRAL. Still worker wise as having more workers than his opponent, and army wise also looking pretty good here for both players. So things have settled down. Both players, especially Haas, is now actually transitioning into a double Phoenix. So interesting transition here by Haas from a cannon rush into Phoenixes, as he's going to hunt down some overlords really soon, just to supply block the SERRAL. So quite an interesting strategy here for Haas, being able to transition into those Phoenixes. He's going to be able to hunt down some overlords. That's exactly what he's looking for. Even being able to take down some drones. So yeah, SERRAL nearby with his Zerglings might try to punch here forward, but there is a cannon, there is a immortal, so he should be okay. As yeah, he's just going to find some pickups here, just going to kill everything he can. So nice move out here by Haas with his units. Those Phoenixes will cause some trouble towards the Zergs. And let's have a look, is he going to add? Yes, indeed, he's adding more and more of those Phoenixes, so it's going to be massive amounts of Phoenixes here for Haas versus his opponent, as SERRAL just roaming around the map with his Zerglings. And let's have a look what the answer from Zerral is going to be here. Proxy has to be going into a tier 2. Yes, indeed, with a Spire, with some Corruptors would of course be the answer against those Phoenixes, as the Phoenixes are looking really, really strong. They might pick out some Queens here. So nice stuff here by Haas, showing us a great transition, a successful transition, as he's able to snipe some Queens, almost sniping this one Queen. But Zerral nicely hitting this one up, so really, really lucky move here by him. Still so many Phoenixes in the air, so he might go straight for the drones here, and even for the Overlords. Overlords would also be a nice target, but there is a Spore, even a second Spore being added here for Zerral, so Zerral really giving importance towards that defensive here. At the same time, Haas also takes here his 6 o'clock position. Zerglings are still roaming around, but the main damage dealers are of course all of those Phoenixes in the air, 7 of them, as Haas once again is moving forward towards the drones. This time he should be able to snap quite a nice number of drones here. Really great sweet stuff, just like that. Really quick. 6 drones have been taken out of the game as we're closing here towards the 10-minute mark. So nice pickups here by Haas, and he's going to be lucky to kill some Overlords here as well, of course, immediately taking out another drone and another Overlord. So nice game here for Haas, somehow coming back into this game, inflicting more and more damage against Zerral. And yes, Zerral still stays here around with those Zerglings. Might be able to attack this expansion really soon, as Haas once again is moving forward, snapping drone after drone, just forcing of course Zerral to stay back to defend. And yes, Zerral just roaming around here with his Zerglings just to have more and more vision. Let's have a look. Still one Immortal here for Haas. Is he going to transition into some other units? We see a Spire now finally being added by Zerral. And yeah, we might see some Mutants, we might see some Corruptors. Still, the Phoenixes are flying around, searching for more and more victims here. Let's have a look. He's going once again for those drones. There is a Spore. There's so many Queens, so he needs to be careful. One drone has been sniped. Worker-wise, Zerral at 53 versus the 44, so Zerral looking really good with all of his units. Zerral, of course, has to scout the entire map, as is known for hiding some other buildings, some other units. That's exactly why Zerral is adding those Zerglings, just to search here the map for any more proxy shenanigans. But yeah, he just needs that entire, he just needs some Corruptors really soon. And yeah, the Spire is about to get finished, and Spores and Queens looking really strong before Zerral into defending. So we have quite a normal gameplay. Zerral has to defend against so many Queens. At the same time, he's taking another expansion point here, looking really strong. But we do see yet another transition here for Haas. He's going into gateway units. What exactly is he going to be going for? Mass Zealots once again? Or could it be a surprise with Dark Templars? Could it be Archons? Stalkers would be interesting to see, as Zealots didn't really work out for Haas. So let's have a look. More and more defenses are being added, more and more Queens are just roaming around left and right. Phoenix is also nearby, so yeah, slowly but steadily we are closing towards the 15-minute mark. Let's just see, charge is about to get finished, and Glial Reconstitution is also about to get finished. So really interesting upgrades here for the Zerg, and weapons on for those Zealots on the ground. It's probably going to be a push with some War Prism, with some Zealots. Speed lag is about to get finished, only one pylon being produced, as we do have indeed Corruptors in the air. Corruptors are looking really strong, as they're nicely sniping this one War Prism, at the same time taking out the Oracle. So yeah, nice sniping going on here for Zerral. Great defenses, as Haas is reacting with massive amounts of Zealots once again towards this expansion point. No drones here. I believe he could snipe the expansion. Phoenix is also closing by, so once again Zerral has to block the entrances. Going however now for those Queens. Really nice job, as the Corruptors are moving forward, so the Zealots are dealing quite some great damage, being supported here by the Phoenixes. With the Queens are also nicely healing themselves up, and there's many protests here on the ground. Slowly but steadily Haas is sadly falling apart here, as he's taking more and more damage. Some Zealots are still being left alive, but all of the Phoenixes have been sniped. And Haas is actually now moving forward with some Zealots. Immortal is also here with 31 kills. This one Immortal, the hero Immortal, but let's see, in the end he will be taken out. So yes, with a good defense, that was one great Immortal there with so much damage, so many kills. have a look at the counter here for SERRAL. It's just Corruptors, so we might see some Vomit. No Vomit yet, as it's going to be once again a victory for SERRAL. So quite an interesting series in the end. SERRAL proving to be way too strong against his opponent, taking this series. I believe it was a best of 7, not 5. But still interesting games here for both players. Nice cheesy gameplay, nice reaction. Finally some new strategies, especially by Haas. So yeah, once again a great series. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be seeing you of course in the next replays. This is Tommy signing out.